inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumit Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. Today I want to talk to you guys about shadow work, okay? More specifically, what is the process of actually going into shadow work? Dragana asked me the question of how do you tap into your shadows, or do they only arise until situations happen or someone triggers you? This is one thing I want to understand on a deeper level. Much love and appreciating your wisdom. How do you tap into your shadows? It is true when we get triggered, our shadows get activated. However, there is a process to doing this thing. One thing that I just start out by saying is that a lot of this stuff is compiled from my friend Voy, Chris, and a bunch of other people who are actually doing shadow work extensively. So I have an interview with Chris about shadow work integration. Definitely check that out. He makes a lot of shadow integration memes. He's called Operation_Moksha. Okay, I can put the link below. And also, please check out Byron Katie's work called The Work. Okay, I'm sure you can find it somewhere online. The Work, basically her process and understanding those questions is very key. Also, definitely check out Arthur Moore and his video down there in the description. His video specifically breaks down his own process. He's now an assistant director in Hollywood, and he thought, like, I'd never make it to Hollywood or whatever, right? So this process actually helps you accelerate your growth. This is a process that helps in terms of that. Yadavir told me this one. So let's get started. Shadow is parts of your personality that you reject. So shadow work is reclaiming the lost parts of you that you've repressed or rejected. Does that make sense? Now, we have this idea in culture that shadow work has to be bad, okay? It's the bad stuff, it's the dark side. Well, there could be elements of your shadow that are positive parts of your personality that you might have repressed too, right? So it's important to understand that this isn't just bad or good, those are just labels, it's just anything that we've rejected in ourselves. First of all, it's to clarify, what do you want? Second thing is to ask yourself, what are the areas of your personality that is keeping you from wanting it? The first thing to do is to lead from curiosity. Healing this mostly comes down to a conflict between two parts of the personality wanting the same thing in different ways. For example, you're wanting connection, but you want to avoid getting hurt. So understand that the feeling hurt part still wants the end goal, right? Still wants the outcome. It still wants to connect, but it's just scared, so it needs to feel safe. So we can understand the shadow as like a warehouse of unresolved issues. The stuff that you don't want to deal with, you suppress down. And in some ways, your shadow is there to actually help you and get you to heal that shadow, right? So what does it want? Well, let's say that you have an abandonment issue. That abandonment issue of that shadow that you've repressed actually wants you to feel like you belong and feel like you're part of the group. That's actually its mission, is to get you to actually recognize that. So the first thing to do is simply to focus on the shadow, right? And I'm going to give you a process here, just giving you a little bit of background about it. So, Carl Jung is the guy you also want to look into a little bit more. I know you had a little bit of background with that. First of all, find that shadow, find that former part of you, and have a conversation with them. Ask them questions. Why are you doing this? What is the positive intent that you're keeping me from? What do you want? So I want to give you a very, very brief way to just get started with shadow work, so you can just get the ball rolling, right? Of course, it's helpful to get with a practitioner, like an integration specialist, who leads from curiosity and brings it out of you. It's much easier to do that, but you can also do this work yourself. Definitely recommend it for anybody watching, okay, to do this work, because this work is going to unlock a part of you that you haven't been able to access for a long time. It's like restricted entry, right? So now you can finally open that door and a lot might come out. So first of all, I want to just state to have a self-love practice before you begin this work, because you might end up doing it and end up feeling a lot worse about yourself, okay? So it's important to, first of all, be in a safe container before you begin this work. First of all, ground yourself, okay? Gently close your eyes, breathe through your nose. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4. Do this until you feel completely calm. Secondly, you want to make sure that you are in a sacred space before you do this work. Find somewhere private, quiet, and somewhere that's meaningful to you. You can have dim lighting, candles, incense, create a mood. Make sure it's somewhere that you feel comfortable being alone in. Step 3, grab a pen and a piece of paper or a journal. Try and remember as far back as you can in terms of context. Be as descriptive as you can and go all in to writing about it. Once you feel complete, ask yourself, what is this thing trying to teach me? What is this hidden part of me that is trying to teach me? Locate that blind spot and find the strength in it. And write down one action step that you can take to be 1% better. Number 1, how judged do you tend to feel daily? Explore how much of that perceived judgment is real and how much is all in your mind. Take a look at the people in your life, or even TV shows and movies. What qualities irritate you about them? If you want to know more about shadow work, highly recommend Teal Swan's video on shadow work. That's another great one. Where do you see some of those qualities in yourself? What does fear hold you back from doing? Do you blame yourself or others? Okay, this is the stuff that you're going to have to do, right? And this is the work that people don't like doing. This is the stuff that people want to avoid doing. 1, because it's too scary. 2, because it's too frustrating to go back into those memories. Right? 3, it can be very traumatizing for people to actually go back to certain, incidences and traumas and memories and, all of that stuff. However, this is what will actually heal that feeling and that imprint in the mind and the subconscious. You want to find the characters. Let's say you have a very rebellious part of you and an obedient part of you. You want them to join hands and soothe that inner conflict that you're feeling. As you know, a lot of the outcome of psychology is this form of integration, or as Jung calls it, individuation. Okay? And it's about taking the fragmented parts of your personality and bringing them all together. A lot of the times, shadow work can be a practice that you do after a mental breakdown. Okay? Where you feel like you have a nervous breakdown or a mental breakdown, this is a great time to actually explore this kind of work. Obviously starting from that self-esteem factor to build a nice foundation for it so that you have a strong, sturdy base. Something that you can do for the self-love work is mirror work, okay? Telling yourself in the mirror that you love yourself, holding eye contact while playing your favorite song without compensating in any way. Right? This is a really great practice to build that firm foundation before you get into this dark cave before you enter the abyss and you notice it staring back at you, okay? And don't judge yourself for whatever comes up. If you need to roll around and cry as you're journaling, do that. Take actions to integrate. You might feel like just getting up and just moving your body and dancing, doing some yoga, asanas, like whatever helps you to feel grounded, safe, worthy will be ultimately freeing with this work, okay? So this is the intro. I hope this helps you out. Thank you for asking the question. Have an amazing day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. See you next time.